Hello, my darlings, and welcome. Ostara, also known as the Spring Equinox, is a holiday celebrated in late March, dedicated to fertility and new growth. Here are some ways to celebrate the season. Let's do some magical crafting. There are a number of ways that you can celebrate the season or day. Please feel free to use the suggestions that resonate with you and that work best with your space and your schedule. As always, you can take some of these ideas and customize them to fit your traditions and practices. You can celebrate the day or the season in general in the weeks leading up to and following the holiday. I hope I can provide some modern ways of celebrating the season, and if you enjoy this kind of witchy holiday content, kindly leave a like on this video. Because this is a long video, I will leave timestamps to each chapter below. Welcome to the Spring Equinox, when we celebrate the time of balance between winter and summer. The days and the nights are the same length on this day of balance. Welcome to Ostara. The days are getting warmer, and it's time for the hares to begin their dances in the fields, and the sparrows to sing about the return of spring and awaken the sleeping goddess Ostara. There are several gods and goddesses that are especially associated with this time of year. Persephone is the goddess of spring growth, who is worshipped alongside her mother Demeter. Other springtime goddesses are Freya, Idun, and Isis, but none as much as Ostara or Eostre. We have few sources to tell us about the goddess Eostre or Easter. However, we know she was worshipped by the Anglo-Saxons in the month of April. Ostara is a Germanic goddess of fertility, springtime, and the sunrise. Eostre or Easter in Old English and Ostara in Old High German stem from a common origin, and in modern times, these goddesses are often combined and celebrated, either side by side or as one. Ostara's symbols are the hare and the sparrow, as well as eggs and spring flowers. It is said that wherever Ostara treads, flowers will grow. The spring hares and sparrows are tasked with wakening the goddess from her winter slumber. The hares dance in the fields, and the sparrows sing their sweet songs. When the goddess awakens, springtime is brought forth, and if the goddess oversleeps, winter remains in the land. In modern times, Ostara or Eostre is associated with the coming of spring and the dawn, and her festival is celebrated at the spring equinox because she brings renewal and rebirth from the death of winter. This holiday is a time of renewal and a time of balance. These may be themes you wish to celebrate during the Ostara season. Spring is nearly here, and in some places in the world, trees are beginning to bud and daffodils are starting to bloom. The grass beneath the snow has turned from blonde to green again. It's time to focus on removing the old and ushering in the new. If there is a new hobby, a new job, or a new activity that you've been wanting to embark on, now is the time to take action and explore a new endeavor. Unlike Mabon, which is more focused on letting go, like the leaves on the autumn trees, Ostara is more about embracing the fresh and new hopes, aspirations, spells, and desires. Find some time to really think about what you want to achieve in the coming months. What you plant during Ostara will be ready to be harvested during the coming summer months and the Sabbats of Beltane, Litha, and Lunasa. You may wish to journal about the topics of new beginnings and making a fresh start. You may wish to do a renewal ritual or a spiritual cleansing. One way to cleanse yourself is to detox with fresh food, focusing on fresh vegetables and fruit and limiting processed food, or by fasting, or some joyful kitchen witchery. Eating intentionally and expressing gratitude for the food you're blessed to be able to eat. Tailor this to your own body and lifestyle. Another way to celebrate renewal is to do activities that provide you with an emotional lightness. This will be different for each individual. You may wish to dance or engage in activities that remind you of a happy time in your life. So tailor this according to what you're able to do. Ostara is often considered the start of the growing season. To celebrate, you may wish to plant seeds or bulbs. What better way to celebrate fertility and the return of life after winter than to dig in the earth and plant some seeds? This is the perfect time to plant a garden and get your springtime plantings started. If you don't have the space or the land to do so, consider joining a community garden or planting seedlings in pots on your balcony or windowsill instead. If it's still too cold to plant, you may wish to leave packets of seeds on your altar until you're ready to plant them. Another option is to appreciate nature and spend some time outdoors if the weather permits. Pay special attention to animals who are waking up and making noise, as well as plants that are starting to bud and bloom. Try doing a nature scavenger hunt. You could make a simple one to get kids involved in what they see in the natural environment, or make a more advanced scavenger hunt to search for specific plants and animals for the green witch, hiker, or dedicated outdoors person. Because this channel has a very crafty focus, I always love to mention holiday crafts. One fun project is to create candles inside of some empty and clean eggshells. You can melt beeswax or soy wax, add a wick, and let it cool. Another option is to slip some tea light candles out of their holders and slide them into an empty shell. They can be a fun addition to your altar or sacred space, or a beautiful decoration for your dining table or home. When doing this magical craft at home, always use real eggshells and always use an egg holder. Never make a candle inside of a plastic egg or burn one in an unsafe environment. Ostara is a time of fertility and rebirth, and few things symbolize this as well as the egg. By coloring them with bright pinks, blues, and yellows, you welcome the colors of spring back into your life and say farewell to winter. You can try using natural sources to get a variety of shades. Pinks from avocados or beets, yellows from yellow onion skins or turmeric, and blue from blueberries or red cabbage. I've tried the natural dyeing route and got mediocre results, so I also recommend the tried and true food coloring route as well. Because Ostara is associated with renewal and springtime, it's a great time to get rid of things that no longer serve you. Declutter and donate items that have been collecting dust for a while. It's also the perfect time to do some classic spring cleaning. You can create an eco-friendly cleaning solution by infusing the fruits and plants of the season in vinegar. I especially like orange and lemon peels. You can also infuse pine to create a cleaner with antiseptic, antibacterial, and astringent properties. Feel free to experiment with your favorite herbs and essential oils. Another Ostara spring cleaning activity is to spend some time mindfully decluttering and cleaning up areas where you spend a lot of time, like your car, your computer, or your work office. You may wish to celebrate this season with traditional and seasonal foods. Many people love to make hot cross buns. It's a very unique type of food that comes along with the celebration of Ostara. The roundness of the buns is said to represent the feminine goddess. The equal-armed cross on top represents the equal hours of light and dark on the spring equinox. It is similar to a Celtic cross. The 4 equal arms of the cross represent balance, the 2 equinoxes crossed by the 2 solstices. Hot cross buns also represent the 4 seasons, the 4 sacred directions, and the 4 elements of air, earth, fire, and water. Other foods you could make to celebrate Ostara include lavender sugar cookies, or make them with oats. You could also make a dandelion green salad with edible flowers and baby greens. Of course, eggs are a popular food during the season, as well as asparagus. Anything made with honey is also a treat. And my favorite dessert to make for Ostara is a light lemon bundt cake. It reminds me of the sun, and the flavor feels like springtime. You may wish to have a picnic if it's not too cold. Is it possible to eat out of doors where you live? If so, celebrate Ostara by having a picnic. You may also wish to decorate your altar with artwork and themes of rabbits, eggs, springtime florals, seeds, feathers, and foliage that's sprouting into leaf. Use pastel colors such as green, yellow, purple, pink, and blue. Some suggestions for crystals are aquamarine, amethyst, fluorite, rose quartz, citrine, and sunstone. Nothing says springtime like flowers. Flowers bring a fresh energy into your sacred space. Bless a bouquet of fresh flowers and place it in your home. Choose or gather a bouquet that speaks to you. Hold it in sunlight if it's sunny outside, or otherwise visualize sunlight filling it, and call on the goddess Ostara to bless it with the qualities of balance, playfulness, love, and new beginnings. Then place it on your altar or in your home. There are many magical associations with springtime flowers. For example, crocus is a traditional decoration for early spring festivals, and it's also useful for all spells related to new beginnings. Crocus can be used in spells for love, friendship, settling disputes, peace, and divination. To practice spring flower magic, you can put fresh daffodils in a vase in your home to bring about abundance. The dandelion is associated with growth and transformation. You could make a salad with their leaves. Also called purple coneflower, echinacea is used for prosperity-related workings. Golden seal is used in money spells, and hibiscus is used to attract love or lust. Hyacinth promotes peaceful sleep and guards against nightmares. And the lily is associated with all kinds of spring connections: fertility, rebirth, renewal, and abundance. Narcissus brings tranquility and inner peace. Tulips are connected to prosperity, and violet is associated with tranquility and peace. I'll leave a link below for more in-depth magical information on springtime flowers. The March hare and the rabbit and hare in general is viewed as a major fertility symbol. The March hare is nocturnal most of the year, but when mating season begins, there are bunnies everywhere all day long. The female can conceive a second litter while still pregnant with a first. Sacred to many goddesses, the hare is often a symbol for the moon. The goddess most closely associated with the hare is the Ostre or Ostara. I will leave a link below to a wonderful storyteller and the story of Ostara and the white hare. The nocturnal hare is closely associated with the moon, which dies every morning and is resurrected every evening, and so this animal represents the rebirth of nature in spring. Over time, the symbol of the hare at Ostara has become the Easter bunny, who brings eggs to children on Easter morning, the Christian day of rebirth and resurrection. You may wish to bring the fertility and magic of the hare into your own life during the spring equinox. To bring yourself boundless energy, carry a talisman engraved or painted with a rabbit's image. If you have wild rabbits or hares that live in your yard, leave them an offering of lettuce, carrots, cabbage, or other fresh greens. Rabbits and hares are able to go to ground quickly if in danger. You can add a few rabbit hairs to a witch bottle for protection magic. I hope this video gives you some ideas on how to celebrate the season. And if you enjoy this kind of witchy holiday content, kindly leave a like on this video. No matter how you celebrate, I hope you all have a blessed Ostara season filled with renewal and fertility. May your life be filled with abundance and have a blessed spring equinox.